Hey, how you doing? So I just wanted to touch on a topic that has plagued me most of my life, and I'm sure some of you have had this issue. What I want to talk about today is body image. Body image and how you see yourself is important. If you don't like what you see in the mirror, you can change some of it. But there's more to you than appearance. So if you know you're a good person and you know that you're a good friend, a good wife, good husband, good partner, whatever the case may be, good mother, good father, grandparents, if you know you're a good person, don't get down on yourself. Realize the good attributes that you have. And I am the worst offender of this. I talk to myself in ways that I would never dream of talking to other people. And my internal monologue is at times very malicious and toxic and mean. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but someone said this to me a little bit ago, and it never really sank in until I kind of started the biking journey, and more recently, actually, in the past few days. If you wouldn't talk to a person the way you talk to yourself, out loud or in your head, why are you talking to yourself like that? Why are you being so mean? Yes, we are our own worst critics, but sometimes that type of talk can actually be your downfall. And I know many times I've given in to that talk, and I've let myself be brought down by my own words, and they can be just as strong and just as positive if you want them to be. So take it each step at a time. Figure out where you want to be, the person you want to be. It's got to be more than just losing weight. And you have to look in the mirror and learn to love yourself for who you are now, wherever you're at in your journey. We have to love ourselves. I mean, that's just, and it's so easy for me to say. It's completely easy for me to sit here and say, love yourself, and boom, it's done. It's a work in progress. I battle with this every day. Some people may relate to this, but one other driving factor that I have is my kids. So my kids, you don't think they're listening, you don't think they hear you, but they do. And one thing I never ever want to see is my daughter or my son, because let's face it, men and women can have body image issues. It's not just something that plagues women. It does happen to men. And I don't want my kids to grow up with these issues. I want them to grow up and love themselves. And it doesn't all come from a parent. You could be raised, you could be raised with a loving family, always giving you praise, always being positive, and some social measures, media may plant that body image issue in your head. So it's not all parental, but the way I see it is, if I can show my daughter that she can love herself, she can love the skin she's in, I would rather her learn that mommy is working out to get healthier. She can come downstairs, play in her playroom where my bike is, and she can see a goal I'm moving towards. Just the same as mommy's eating healthy. And so is she, because the way I see it is, this is a family investment. And in order for me to succeed, I need my family's help, and I need them backing me. So what we all eat collectively has to be healthy. It doesn't, has to be. Sometimes my kid will only eat chicken nuggets, and sometimes you gotta give in. So in any case, I want my daughter to learn different cues than Mommy just said she was fat, or I saw mommy standing on the scale, because I do weight checks every day, but what I become conscious of is I don't do them around my daughter. I will not step on a scale or do any of that in front of my daughter, because I don't want her to associate that as something that she needs to do. So it's hard. It really is. And when you have little ones that are looking up to you, and there are so many times I'm the heaviest I have ever been. And my daughter has looked at me since even my surgery and said, "Mommy, you're so pretty." And that innocence and her just saying that, she doesn't realize what she did by saying that to me. Hearing that from someone so innocent in a world that's just, to me, honestly, filled with a lot of negativity, it brightens your day to hear your kid say that. And if you hear your child say that, give them a big hug and believe them. Believe what they're telling you, because that's the start of you believing yourself. If you have to, write on your mirror. Someone shared this with me a while ago, and I did it actually when I was going through our infertility journey. We suffered through infertility for 4 years. We did experience 4 losses, and I know that when I got pregnant with my daughter, I wrote on my mirror, "Today I'm pregnant." And in the same boat, I know people write down, "You are beautiful." Just overall positive messages that you say to yourself. And this is to help you learn to talk nice, to be positive to yourself, because the negative talk is something you've learned over time. And that habit is not going to switch off overnight, but you can be more cognitive of what you are saying to yourself and what you are saying out loud, what others are hearing you say about yourself. If you don't value yourself, how are others going to value you? Or if you don't value yourself, it shows. If you don't believe in yourself, it'll show in your everyday interactions, at work, in your family, with your friends. Believe in yourself. See your body as a temple. Sounds weird, but see your body as a temple. And realize that you are capable of a lot. Rome wasn't built in a day. You're not going to fix yourself overnight. And I think I've already said that once already. I'm sorry, but it's really something that is honest and true. It's got to take time, and like with everything with this video blog, I'm going through the same thing, and I have made a promise to myself, I've made a promise to my children that this is something that I'm going to work on. So if any of my family or friends are watching this, you'll notice a change, I promise. You will notice that I'm not so mean to myself. You will notice, before I would say out loud, I'm fat, or, with reference to my thighs or my butt. One thing to know about me is that I used to be a very athletic person. I played hockey all my life. I was well known for the hockey that I did. I went away to college and got a full scholarship to play. And after college, that athletic eating stayed with me, but the athletic exercising did not. And I miss hockey every day, even more so with my back issues. Where I live currently, there's not really any arenas, but I need to get back on the ice because that's my form of therapy, and I love it. Played it. And I'm Canadian. If anybody's noticed my accent, I am Canadian living in the US. Basically, over the years, it's been hard to see this weight gain on myself. Especially if I go home and go to my hometown where I was born. I don't like to go out. I don't like people to see the weight that I've gained, and this is how deeply rooted the body image issues are, that I physically would not go out and see people because, or even just go out to a bar, because the town that I lived in was very small, close knit, that chances are I'll bump into somebody that I know, and I know that when they see me for the first time, well, not that I know, but what I do is when they see me is I feel automatically embarrassed. You know, I forget everything positive that I've done with my life, and I get embarrassed about my appearance. I get embarrassed about the weight that I've gained. And this is an emotional topic for me, but I get very embarrassed, and I need to change that because I have accomplished a lot. I am a pretty good photographer and a really good hockey player when I have the skates on. And I'm kind, I'm caring, I give a lot to my family and friends. My friends are my family. They know that. I'm loyal. I'm honest with myself and with others, and sometimes that gets me into trouble. But I need to start seeing the positive attributes that these other people will see. I have a beautiful family, a loving husband. I have noteworthy accomplishments that completely get erased by one thing, and that's my body image issues. And so I'm working on them. I know you can. We both can. We'll work on them together. But, you know, kind of admitting it and talking about this, but, you know, kind of admitting it and talking about this, it helps me. And it might help you too. So stay positive, talk to yourself in a positive way. Don't beat yourself up, because every negative word you say, it's putting you back to where you don't want to be. It's getting in the way of your success. And it's really true. We are our own worst enemies. As much as we are our own worst critics, we are our own worst enemies. Make the change for you. Definitely try to do it for other people, but if you're not at a point where you want to make that change for you, it's not going to work as well. You have to believe that you can do it, and you can fake it till you make it, but I think in this instance, it's working from the ground up, working on yourself, and maybe doing that at first is going to help you then get into the mode of exercising, becoming healthier. It doesn't just being a healthier you, but it starts the ground up, and I truly believe it starts with how you talk to yourself. Because when you get into exercising and you need that push, if you're always used to talking to yourself negatively, that first voice that's going to come up when things get hard and you need the motivation to keep going, it's going to be negative. It's going to say stop. It's going to say, you know, do less weights or go a little slower. It's going to stop you. Now, that's not the same thing as, you know, oh, I'm hurting. If you're hurting, you stop because your body's telling you you need to stop. But in terms of your mind, the first thing you're going to hear is the negative talk. So if you learn, because this is learning, if you learn how to talk to yourself nicely in a positive manner, I think you'll find it'll be easier to talk to yourself and motivate yourself when you're mentally and physically exhausted. You want to be able to muster that positive voice and that positive body image. Positive body image doesn't mean that, you know, you're model thin or you are ripped or whatever the case may be. I have to look in the mirror and like who I am right now. I can't focus on who I want to be. because that's not who I am right now. I am me, and I have to like all of me, and so do you. So this has gotten very long, and I'm terribly sorry for it. As always, if you need to talk or you want to add something in the comments, please do. This is far less about the Peloton bike today than anything. It's just got to do with the journey itself. I will be seeing you guys later. I really like these chats. It's a little bit of a vulnerable thing for me to do, because I do know that I personally know people that will be watching this, and then, you know, and that takes the anonymity out of this in some regards. So please realize how vulnerable I'm being with you. Comment below. I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. You say hi to everybody? This is one of my daily inspirations. And he's waving to you. You say hi.
Suddenly there he was.
This is part of what I do it for. And this is the other one. You say hi?
Hi.
Love him.